370, Decoding the Supreme Court Order. On 11th December 2023, the Honorable Supreme Court of India delivered a historic judgment on the abrogation of Articles 370 and 35A. Through its judgment, the Supreme Court has upheld the sovereignty and integrity of India, something that every Indian cherishes. The apex observed that the decision taken on 5th August 2019 to abrogate Article 370, which ended the special status of the erstwhile state of J&K, was done to enhance constitutional integration and not disintegration. The court has also recognized the fact that Article 370 was not permanent in nature. Before getting into the nuances of judgment, let's know what was Article 370 about. Article 370 in the Indian Constitution gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir, a region disputed by India, Pakistan, and China. It allowed the state to have its own constitution, flag, and autonomy over most matters except defense, foreign affairs, and communications. It was based on the terms of the Instrument of Accession, which was signed by the ruler of Jammu and Kashmir, Hari Singh, in 1947 to join India after an invasion by Pakistan. Now let's dissect the judgment. The five-judge Constitution bench hearing this matter included Chief Justice Chandrachud, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Justice B.R. Gavai, and Justice Suryakant. Let's take a look at the core issues deliberated upon during the hearings. Contention 1. Is 370 a permanent feature? The petitioners, who included National Conference Party lawmakers, citizens of Kashmir, former bureaucrats, and representatives of various organizations, argued that Article 370 was a manifestation of a constitutional promise made by the Dominion of India to the former princely state, maintaining its unique status even after its accession. They said that when the J&K Constituent Assembly was dissolved on January 26, 1957, Article 370 became a permanent clause that the President could not revoke. In response, the centre, represented by Attorney General R. Venkatramani and Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, emphasized that Article 370 was merely a stopgap arrangement until J&K's complete integration with Union of India and not an expression of any special status for the region. The centre added that Article 370 existed merely to temporarily manage the situation and ensure that a wider time frame is provided to complete this process of further integration and uniformity. Jammu Kashmir. Contention 2. Matter of states' consent. While some petitioners brought up the requirement of consent from the Constituent Assembly for abrogation of Article 370, others questioned the validity of President's rule that was in place when the abrogation was effected. Some of these arguments cited the instrument of accession, while others emphasized in 2018 verdict of Supreme Court, which stated that Article 370 had acquired permanent existence. A number of petitions also contested the Jammu and Kashmir State Reorganization Act, which divided the state into two union territories as of October 30, 2019, on the grounds that the centre lacked the authority to divide a state into two UTs. The state argued that there was no constitutional restriction against redrawing of states' order if doing so would help maintain the integrity of the nation. It was backed by a number of respondents who were represented by senior advocates Harish Salve, Rakesh Dwivedi, Mahesh Jethmalani, and V. Giri. Now let's take a look at Supreme Court's observation. First, the chief relied on the fact that the constitution framers placed Article 370 with temporary and transitional provisions contained in Article 21. Then he pointed out that the instrument of accession made it abundantly clear that Article 1, which stated that India, that is, Bharat, shall be a union of states, applied in its entirety to J&K. C.J. Chandrachud held that the words recommendation of the Constituent Assembly shall be necessary should be read with the historical context in mind, as it indicates that this was merely a ratification process as decided by the Ministry of States. The recommendation, he said, is not binding on the President. Further, the chief held that was the provision was introduced to deal with the special circumstances in the state at the time of dissolution of Constituent Assembly. These special circumstances persisted, requiring the continuation of Article 370. Justice Call agreed, citing that Article 370's historical context, its text, and its subsequent practice indicates its temporary nature. The President's power can be exercised post dissolution in line with the aim of full integration of the state, he wrote. Holding the judicial review in only is only applicable to actions taken after President's rule has been proclaimed. The chief laid down a standard to assess the grounds for such review. First, the exercise of power by the President under Article 356 must have a reasonable nexus to the object of the proclamation. Second, such an exercise of power will not be considered to be invalid merely on the ground of irreversibility of the actions. Third, in the challenge to an action taken under President's rule, the onus lies on the petitioner to establish that the prima facie assessment of the case shows a mala fide or extraneous exercise of the power. Justice Call concurred, stating that the President has the power to make irreversible changes, including the dissolution of State Assembly. He noted that the President's power are kept in check by judicial and constitutional scrutiny. The essay recommended that the Union set up a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, just like South Africa did post apartheid, to investigate human rights violations by both state and non state actors. The exercise should be time bound. This historic judgment by the Supreme Court has not only upheld the principle of Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat, but it has also served as a powerful reminder of the importance of unity and a collective dedication to good governance. This, this decision showcases the court's commitment to strengthening the fabric of our nation and reinforcing the values that define us as a society.